Hey YouTube, you got Virtue here for another clip. I'm going to talk about Lucifer and the relationship I have with Lucifer. I'm going to tell it like it is. This is not scripted. I'm just going to wander through it. This is part of, as you can see by the previous slate, is part of Name That Deity painting series. I'll put the link below so you can have a look at that. I'm not going to explain it now. Lucifer and I have what I would call a troubled relationship. If you're a left-hand path practitioner, this is what you do. You work with these deities. You just don't command them or serve them or worship them. You actually work with them. Lucifer is intensely powerful. Intensely powerful. In fact, he introduced himself 18 months before I did the painting. But he introduced himself as the Archangel Michael. How did this happen? Wow. Spirits don't have the same logic that we do. And they don't have the same cause and effect that we do in life. They are, in a sense, backwards. You often get the effect of them before you get the cause or the answer. And this is exactly what happened with Lucifer. I had or have a spiritual healer in London. Because I work with the dead, see other film clips that I've done about that. Not going to explain it here. I often get a lot of crap attached to me, and I will go into my healer and ask him to get rid of it, and he does. The poor man, I'm telling you, I make him sweat like you wouldn't believe, because he just has to work so hard because of all the crap I deal with. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Lucifer brought me the light for the first time. In the middle of a healing, he put a seed. It was a seed like I felt it through my third eye. And this amazing light, brilliant. I can't even describe it as white. It is just brilliant. Started to, at first, like two propellers, if you could imagine it. They came out the side of this seed. I felt this seed go into my forehead, and then these propeller-like brilliance come out, and then the whole thing filled my body. The funny thing is that it had a really healing effect on me. Now, after I'd had this healing from my spiritual healer, I told him, and he said that he had a message for me, that this was actually the Archangel Michael, and that he was willing to help me out with some of the hauntings I do, because I have to bind innocent people that have been caught up, innocent dead people, sorry, that have been caught up in a lot of these hauntings. And basically, he would help me heal them, because I can't cross them all over. I can't do that sort of work. I just don't have time. I do what I can, but I can't do it all. So I went along with this, and yet working with him, because he had offered the help, I really didn't feel like he was an archangel. And I know that I'm talking a Christian construct here, but I just didn't feel like that fitted. I didn't really want healing from him. I had a really really rough upbringing. I had a really abusive adoptive mother. I was taken from my mother and handed to someone that was horrific. Her husband was just as bad. It was fairly horrific, and I got this white light treatment. Well, that's what I thought it was an angelic sort of treatment. And to be honest with you, I kind of thought, what the fuck? Where have you been? You know, I was a kid in hell. Where have you been? So I was a bit hesitant. In my life, it makes more sense. I will trust what most people would see as a demonic more than I will trust the angelic. Because quite frankly, I don't know what to do with the angelic. I really don't. After a upbringing like mine, people that have been so abused like I have, we wouldn't have a clue. But this whole thing about this Archangel Michael just did not fit. Like, it wasn't just I knew that the abuse could be keeping this back, you know, that this could be causing this, me not accepting it. It was a gut instinct that this was not right. It really just wasn't right. So I went along with it, and I argued continually with what I thought was an archangel, the Archangel Michael. I argued continually. I argued about the fact that he left it so late. I mean, I was adopted in the fucking 60s, for God's sake. I mean, good God. If you're an archangel, where the hell have you been? And it just didn't fit. And then I started to get input from this source to say, I really like the feisty ones. I like the ones that argue. And nothing, like I've got paintings on here where it talks about the Archangel Michael, but it was never comfortable. When I paint, and when I paint spirit, it's an exceptionally truthful process. And that's why I kind of knew something was wrong, because it just didn't feel right. I've recently come to terms, because of that name, that deity, that this indeed wasn't an archangel, Lucifer, but was, the Archangel Michael, but was Lucifer instead. So now I'm kind of trying to figure out where this fits in my life. I work with a lot of high-level deities because I've done this for so damn long. The others I'm working with in Name That Deity, they're kind of like oaths. They help me out, but it's not sort of a huge commitment. It's because of the painting and the exhibition that I want to put on with the Name the Deity series, or that I want to get done, and I'm working my way through it. But Lucifer is something that is completely different. He's powerful. I mean, all deities have a different power base. I mean, I also work off and on with Belial. I think Belial's lovely. I know I'm going to be in trouble for saying it, but he tends to support me, and he's very quiet and soft with me. I also work with Zagan. Zagan I absolutely love. Oh, Zagan is amazing. He just flips things. But I'll talk about him in another clip. He just makes everything turn upside down, and I love it, because that's exactly what I need in my life. But Lucifer is something completely different. He's kind of demanding, and I enjoy working with him. because it is quite aggressive, and he gets things done. He really helps me out. But as I said, I'm still trying to figure out those underneath him. I can deal with the fact that what I thought was the Archangel Michael is actually Lucifer. I can deal with that. It makes more sense in my world. But I've got Lucifer underneath him, because there is something underneath him, and I initially thought that part of his power was to contain Satan, or to have Satan involved in him. But I'm still really working with this entity, with this deity, to work out who that actual underling is. Is it Lucifer, or is it Satan? And does Satan exist? And this is what I'm questioning at the moment. And the paintings going on from this, name that deity, Lucifer painting, are going to question that. Because, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if Satan exists, or if it really is just Lucifer. Either way, I want to know the truth. So I guess that's probably all I want to say about the process. I wanted to example this clip because I wanted to example what it's like to go through left-hand path working. This is a process of it. This is a process of trying to work out what deities or demons, if you like, you're working with, what they mean, and what they mean in your reality. Doesn't matter what books say. What do they mean to you? I've been reading quite a bit about Lucifer, Luciferian magic. I've been listening to a whole heap of YouTube clips. But it still comes down to the point, what does this mean to me? What is it in my world? And I guess I'm yet to find out. So keep an eye on my website. Links are all going to be below. I'll put some links down to other people that have talked about this Luciferian and exploration as well. And I guess that's about all I want to say. So thanks for joining me again, and hopefully I'll see you on another clip. And by the way, if I can just plug it, could somebody subscribe, please? I'm getting sick of this. Subscribe. Just press the subscribe button, and then you'll get all this other information, particularly if you subscribe to the bell as well. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll see you again, hopefully. Bye.